Hello, everybody. So, it's a little different having the eye contact camera. I'm not straining my neck up, which is a bonus. And it does mean that we have the pet cam. Yay! I am working on the lighting situation. Oh gosh, I have to get used to not looking up at the camera. So I have to get used to the lighting situation, but hold on, Ava. I also have to get used to, I'm working on it. Golly, oh my goodness. I'm going to have to fix this Ava situation here. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to get you on camera more. Yeah. Well, that helps. I just have to call you up higher. You want to look right here and say hello? Say hello to the world. Okay, now I gotta fix this one more time. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought I had it perfect, and then I didn't. Hold on. That means I gotta pinch this slightly, I think. Nope, that was the wrong direction. Oh, that looks awful. Okay. All right. I think we're golden. I think we're golden like a retriever. Oh. Almost. Golly. Sorry, guys. I thought I had it. But I didn't take into account that it's also Ava's camera. Well, I did, but you know, I didn't know how much space she would need. But it seems like if I have her jump up, it works just fine. And I do have a light bar on order that's going to go above the desk. I did get that ring light. Man, ring lights are bright. I mean, I could probably put this thing across the room, and because here's what it is full on. Here's what this is full on. I have to close my eyes. Wow, that's bright. That is way too much. And there's not a lower setting. It's this or, yeah, wow. Okay, you've got your treat. Stop. So yeah, so I have a light bar on order, which will, well, that's not so terrible. I mean, it's still too much, and I still have the rings in my eyes, but I think I'm gonna put it back the way I had it originally. Okay. There, that's good. So yeah, the LED light bar, I'm sure, is gonna be better. Hi, Billy. So, yes. Big changes, one at a time. Hello, Jerry Matthew Boyd. Hello, Z-Rex. Hello, Buzzy Pug. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, Wire Mother. I let Snitch out today, and he stayed out all day. He didn't come in until the sun went down, and oh, I didn't like that a bit. Like Tiny Kitten and Billy, they're in and out. You know, outside food. That's the routine. They check in with mama. Snitch is like, I'm out. He's like, I don't know when that crazy lady's going to let me out again. I got to escape. Hello, Patrick B. Hello, Lisette Panette. Hello, Charlie. And speaking of Charlie, I got a gift today. It just happens to be from Bones Coffee. And that is what Charlie sent me the last time. When he sent me the Star Wars Truffle Dark Side coffee and that Dragon's Lair, that was divine. I'm working on it. This is the camera I got, by the way, guys. The Pro 4K webcam. It's just called Eye Contact Camera. This is what it looks like. It's got a little swingy arm that the upper box doesn't do anything. It's got speakers built into it. Probably a microphone too, I'm sure of it. Because it's made for people who do Zoom calls and conference calls and things like that. You know, big exec type people, I suppose. Not me. But I have my Yeti microphone that I utilize still because the audio quality of the Yeti is still better than anything I've ever found. And if it's oh Charlie, I love you. I love you doubly. Oh my gosh. I was telling Charlie in the text message that I sent him earlier that he must have had like some kind of spidey sense or something, because I was on my last bag of coffee. I wasn't out yet. I don't ever run out. But I was on my last bag. And I was really, really happy to see the coffee, the Bones Coffee Company box. Hello, Eileen and Carlin. And there's Earl on the pet cam. I wish I could get my head out of the way, but the cord just isn't long enough. I'm going to keep playing around with it, though. One is the pet cam and one is me. Now everybody can see what's going on that big old tower up there. And what's going on the top of my head. Like I said, I'm gonna work on getting this part of my head out of the picture somehow. Maybe I need to order a longer cord. I don't know. I'll figure it out, guys. Oh no! Oh, that's awful. I'm still tweaking it. Hello, official astronomers. I know I pronounced that wrong. Official Astromars. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Purple Kiv. Yep, that's how I actually have it. When I said I'm going to turn it back to the way I had it, that's what I had done. I still look shiny, but I mean, I did just get out of the shower, so. Oh, hi, Ava. Hi, what's up, baby girl? You already got your treats. I know, you just want to be on camera. Yes, I have a light bar ordered that'll go above the computer, and then it'll light up this side of the room. This side of the room doesn't have very good light source, and the ring light that I have is just too powerful. So you're just gonna have to bear with me for just a little while longer. Terry Barnes with my big Kentucky hugs. So good to see you. I can only do so much at a time, buddy. I'm working on it. I'm working on it here. Let me see. Now, it doesn't have... I can't well, see, the problem is, if I zoom in on the tower, then I lose all of that area. So, I mean, like I said, I'm going to keep working on different heights and positions and stuff, but I have to work within the constraints of the cord that I have. So I'm working on it, okay? I can see that it looks like it's far away. I can, and I will continue to work on it. I will try to make it better, but you're just going to have to bear with me. I know, I kind of just want to hook up an IV drip. I'll hang it right here, and then there'd be an IV drip, and that's all I need. That's all I need. Hello, Mortimer Duke. It's just as good. Hello, Jenny Green. More cat cam to the... I know. I'm going to work on it. I will get it. I will get it. I just need to order a longer cord before I can do a whole lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm working on it. Yes, hello, Squishy. I know. I'm waiting for the new light bar. You know, it's one of those try it and then fix the bugs. Try it and fix the bugs. And eventually I'll get all the bugs fixed. I hope. I have to, because I don't know. I can't go through this every night. Hello, Spider-Man. Yeah. No, they might get ideas that they already know that they run the show. And I don't need them to have more ideas like that. Oh no, and I'm loud. That's impossible. There is no way. I mean, they can hear me 2 houses down. I cannot believe you remember that. Yes, I was completely in the dark during that time. And then we had that one strange person pop in who had never seen the stream ever in their lives. And you could tell because they came in and they said something about, every time I see you, it looks like you're shooting a prano. Yes, I had to change that word. And it's like, no, guarantee not. No, it requires getting on the roof to install it. So they're coming out here in the beginning of May, and they'll put it in for me. Oh my goodness. Hello, Shanzi. Most places have an ordinance at 10:30 at night. You have to be quiet and peaceful by 10:30. When I lived in Bluffview, there was a group of people that would play their music from the hatchbacks of their cars every single night on full volume. But at 10:29, silence. Hello, Dark Zoomy. So happy you're here. What are you talking about? I can see myself. Like, am I not seeing what you're seeing? Hold on, I have to mute this because feedback. Yeah, I just checked it and I look normal. What are you talking about? I love you. It did not. You're such a brat. Yeah, it's because of the ring light, and there's nothing I can do about it for right now. It's like the intention of it is supposed to be like you see the streamer or the person that's on camera. That's why the second camera exists, for you to see the pets. But when I get the light bar, then that should fix it. That's my hope. I'll keep playing with it until I get it, but it was either I take tonight off and deal with this all tomorrow, or I come on tonight with it kind of started together and we go from here. Now there's a Methany line. Nope. Just my natural self. That was the discount code, right? know, like they don't they don't earn their keep enough. Yeah, we still exist. Oh, and tonight we have JRegier. I'd say Natural Man, but I'm not so sure. An AI rendition of a natural man. I'm not even going there. I'm going to leave that one right alone. I'm sure he is. He's powered by Grok or Gemini. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might have to add you to the stream. I'll send you the link. You want to go live with them? We'll all tell them to shut up. Hi, Billy. Hi. Oh, Billy what did you do? Hold on. Oh, there you are. Okay. Oh, nice. Well, it should be quiet soon. Because of me. Oh, Billy, come on, buddy. Come on. You can get the treats out yourself. You don't need me to do that. He stepped in the mouse earlier and it minimized the whole screen. I didn't know if he kicked me out or what. No, we're gonna stream it here. I don't know. You Purple Give You, I'm gonna send you the link now. All right, guys, we are going to watch some Webby and JRegier tonight. By golly, we're going to do it. Let's see here. And so we have a couple of camera choices, okay? I think the one that leaves the court cases the biggest is this. So let's see. I might be able to even change that a little bit more. That won't work. I mean, it's awful for people on phones, but I mean, anything's awful for people on phones. We'll see what we got. We'll see what we can do here. Well, I mean, hold on a second. Three. No, 2 humans. horizontal alignment, far left. Fill. No, I want, no. Vertical alignment. Where'd it go? Change the border, change the shape. I don't want vertical. I don't. Wait, yeah, come on. Delete that one. Sorry, I'm trying to fix it. Dynamic grid. Okay, so here we go. 2 humans. Rectangles. No. How do I turn this? Oh, there we go. Okay. That's something I can work with. Okay, put me over here. Put that there. Okay, now this is no different than when I put a video up and I go to the side of the video. Except I want to flip camera 1 and camera 2. Camera. Yeah, go there. No, go there. No. I guess the pets get to be on the bottom and I get to be on the top. Okay, we're going to try it with this. Save. Paw show. All right. And now I'm going to put the video on.
Are we ready to begin?
At the court's leisure, Your Honor.
Judge, I have one here, pro se, if you want to take it up while he's in breakout.
Who do you have?
Last name EPA, EPA.
All right. We are on the record in 2024 TR 2382, State of Kansas versus Chama Deandra Epa. JRegier for the state, and Mr. Epa, would that be you there at Court Security 3?
Are you Mr. EPA?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, we are set for bench trial. The defendant is accused of speeding 90 in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. I see that subpoenaed witness, Master Trooper Brian Grunder, is present for the state. Mr. Epa, are you ready to proceed to bench trial? Mr. Epa, can you hear me?
Can you hear? Can you hear the judge?
Yeah.
You don't have a trial on this speeding.
Yeah. So.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Mr. Regier, are you ready to proceed?
The state is so prepared to proceed, Your Honor. I'm not sure if the court wants to take up the addition of any prospective waivers of counsel, given in light of the defendant's statements on the record. Beyond that, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
Well, he's not entitled to court appointed. Are you wanting to waive your right to hire an attorney, Mr. Eppa? You want to represent yourself?
Yeah, I can hire attorney.
You
Yeah,
want
but-
to hire?
Okay.
But we're ready to proceed today. Are you ready to proceed on your own behalf today?
If I want to hire an attorney, can I get like a future date, or does it has to be today?
Well, this dates back to September 2nd, 2024. And you've been here a couple of times. You came to the courthouse January 2nd, 2025, talked to the prosecutor, indicating you were going to represent yourself, apparently. On January 2nd of 2025, you were going to apply for diversion, but that you didn't qualify. Then February 12th, you were present, and you told me you wanted to set the matter for bench trial. Nowhere, and I had told you initially that you did have the right to an attorney. Nowhere along the way have you indicated that you wanted an attorney. As I said, I can't appoint one. The officer is here and ready to testify. Are you telling me now at this last point in time, that you do want to go out and hire an attorney to represent you in this bench trial?
He'd have said nothing about it if JRegier hadn't.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. If you can, if I have that option, I can. Otherwise, I'll just proceed with myself.
Well, why did you not get an attorney before now?
I tried few attorneys. They didn't want to take the case. So, yeah,
And
that's.
And you think now you can find an attorney that would take the case?
I can try, Your Honor. I don't know whether anybody will take it or not, but
Well, I don't know that a waiver of counsel on a speeding case is necessary. You were advised of your right to hire an attorney early on in this case. But it sounds like the county attorney is concerned about you representing yourself here today, and that they've asked for a waiver of counsel.
Your Honor, I don't believe that I am. I just went that fast. So I mean, I don't have a way to prove that. So that's why I went to the trial, so I can get diversion and take the system out of my driving record.
All right,
Because
well, let's see. Apparently you're beyond the guidelines for diversion,
yeah,
and you've talked to the county attorney about other options and come up with none. And now you're asking, as I understand you, for a continuance for an attorney since the county attorney brought that up. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Regier, I take it you don't have an objection to him getting an attorney at this late date?
Your Honor, the state would have an objection. The state is merely inquiring if, for purposes of any journal entries, the court may order at today's hearing. If the court wants to proceed on that issue, as this does appear to be one alleged infraction, there is not a constitutional right to counsel in this case. The state is merely addressing this for purposes of the record.
Well, it does not seem right that the state brings it up and then the defendant says, yeah, I'll take an attorney. And then you object to his request for a continuance. So
Open mouth, insert foot.
I don't think this is the way to proceed. I don't think this is the best use of court time. It's certainly not the best use of Trooper Grunder's time. This case was set for bench trial at the defendant's request February 12th. And apparently, you said since then you've gone out and looked for a few attorneys that wouldn't take your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to grant the defendant's request for continuance, and I'm going to set this over for another day for jury trial. Destiny, what do you have?
I have June 11th, Your Honor.
This is continued at the defendant's request with objection by the state to June 11th at 1:30. Don't expect any more continuances for this reason, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've had plenty of time to get an attorney, and I know I told you at your first appearance that you had the right to an attorney, and here we are. All right. Thank you, Trooper Grunder. If you're not here on any other case, you're excused.
You're good to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the defendant's excused too. You're welcome. We'll now be on the record in 24 CR 401, State of Kansas versus Brian Darnell Perkins Parsha. JRegier for the state is the defendant here. I'm looking for Brian Darnell Perkins Parsha. Defendant was set for trial at his request today on possession of stolen property dating back to August 17th of 2024. Yep. On the issue of bond, the defendant looks like he did post a bond.
And Your Honor, if the state may be heard briefly on the issue of the court's orders from today's hearing.
Well, I'm showing that he posted a $2,500 bond August 17th, 2024. Surety provided by Florio Fast Out Bail Bonds. Mr. Regier, you want to be heard? Go ahead, please.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a case where in reviewing the notes from the previous previous 4 settings, 5 to count the current setting, it would appear that the defendant has made various allegations about hiring counsel. As of yesterday, the state is not aware of any formal entries of appearance in this particular case. Additionally, while it would appear that this is the defendant's first failure to appear, the state, this matter was set for bench trial approximately 2 months ago. The state subpoenaed its witnesses, and it would appear that those subpoenas have been honored, for which the state would thank its endorsed witnesses for honoring their subpoenas. Additionally, in reviewing the appearance bond, it would appear the defendant listed on the appearance bond an address well outside the state of Kansas. Therefore, the state does consider him a potential flight risk in this matter, and so the state is recommending a bench warrant bond forfeiture, no bond hold.
The court will grant a bench warrant, bond forfeiture, bench warrant, no bond hold. As I look at this, I believe I may have set this myself because he kept continuing it over and again, saying he was going to hire an attorney. And I think I eventually said, well, if you're going to hire one, this is your last shot. I told him his last continuance was 1/27. Then he showed up 2/10/25 without an attorney. So after going through that about 4 times, I think that may be the court that set this for hearing. But in any event, yes, he fails to appear after knowing that he was set for trial and having multiple continuances. So bond forfeiture, bench warrant, no bond hold.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And thank you to the witnesses. And I believe that concludes this docket, Destiny.
That's all that I have, Your Honor.
All right. Then we are adjourned. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
All right, are we ready to go back on the record? Mr. Parsha, be sure and start your audio and video now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We are back on the record in the 13th Judicial District, the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. Case number 24 CR 401, State of Kansas versus Brian Darnell Perkins Parsha. It is now 2:20 p.m. The court called this case on the 1:30 docket. The defendant was set for bench trial at that time. Sir, you're gonna have to stop moving around.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm at work right now. My fault. I apologize.
Oh, don't you hear that, Your Honor? He's too important to be in court.
All right. The defendant did not appear when his case was called. Why did you not appear when called, and why do you appear now so late, sir?
I'm actually not late, ma'am. I was actually on time, but the court clerk gave me
In
the
my
wrong.
court, excuse me, sir. You weren't in my court. You were late. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the clerk. The clerk gave me the wrong meeting ID and password, and I believe Amy sent over an email verifying that. I was sitting in their courtroom during the time, and when they called me, it was about 1:35, 1:40 when they called me, and she said I was in the wrong court. But they see at 9 this morning is when I received
No,
the court.
Stop. I asked you, please don't keep moving around. You have got to find a spot and quit moving around.
Okay.
All right, now. So you called the clerk for your Zoom codes and they gave you one to a different court. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they called you about what time and told you you were in the wrong courtroom?
By the time I was able to see the judge, it was like 1:35, 1:40.
So why didn't you come on into our courtroom at that time?
Because I didn't have your document number or the passcode. I had to get that because they gave me the wrong passcode and meeting ID number, ma'am.
So it took you at least a half an hour to find the right Zoom codes after they told you were in the wrong room?
Ma'am, I've been waiting there for a while, ma'am. I was waiting for the court to open the thing.
Well, sir, I wouldn't be so concerned. I would say, well, those things happen.
It was, excuse me, ma'am, it was 1:58 when Amy Boakman sent over the link.
All right, sir. The problem with your case and with you is that this matter I can't seem to get this matter resolved because you have one thing after another. August 26th of 2024, you were given Zoom codes for your hearing. At your first appearance, August 26th of 24, you were told you did not qualify for a court-appointed attorney and were given the following hearing date. You came in November 18th, 2024. You said you needed a continuance because you wanted to hire an attorney. That was November 18th, 2024. That request for continuance was granted and the matter was set over to January 27 of 2025. You came in on January 27, 25 and said you needed it to be continued because you were going to retain attorney Darren Patterson.
Yes, ma'am.
I told you then that would be your last continuance.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you came in on February 10th, 2025, and the matter was set over to today.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we call the case today and you're not here.
That's not my fault, ma'am. Like you're blaming me for something that's not my fault. Your courthouse gave me the wrong meeting ID number.
All right, I understand that today, but where's your attorney? Did you bring your attorney?
No, I'm going to represent myself. I kind of said that in the last case as well. If Mr. Patterson wasn't communicating with me, it's hard for me to communicate with him. I'm not on you guys' same time zone.
All right. The problem is the officer or the prosecutor had his witnesses subpoenaed, Trooper Rose, and I think a couple other witnesses were here. Now, where did you go? Come back here.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm sorry. I have like an important job. I have electricity running and everything right now. So I had to turn off the breaker so it doesn't start an electric fire in there.
All right. So I sent his, when you didn't come and I waited till the end of the docket, you didn't show up. So we had to release those witnesses.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you plan to do with this case now? Are you asking that it be reset for trial, or what do you want to do?
I kind of want to have it resolved, ma'am, because the situation, I didn't even do this situation. I was transferring my job and I had a friend. When I transferred the job, I needed a car to get around. I'm from California and I was getting a job out in Kansas. And then when I went to Kansas for the interview, they told me that they were replacing me at a complex here in Texas. So my friend said he had a rental car I could use. I used the rental car to get back to Texas so I could make it to the interview.
Your Honor,
When I made it to
my
the
interjection, is this really the most appropriate time to be taking testimony?
Well, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if it is testimony, Mr.
No, I
Regier.
wouldn't. I mean, I want to have it resolved today. So shouldn't I be able to give a testimony?
If you're wanting a bench trial, no, we can't have a bench trial because his witnesses have been excused.
All right.
He has the burden of proving that you did or that you did commit the crime, if he can.
All right.
And after he presents his side of the case, then you get to present yours, including the testimony. So you want to resolve it today by trial, but that can't happen because I've released his witnesses. So how do you want to proceed?
Whatever's the best way to proceed, ma'am. I don't really know the court system, the right terminology to even communicate with that. So whatever the best way is to proceed with this, ma'am, I'm more than willing to get this resolved.
On August 26th of 2024, the state of Kansas filed an information against you alleging that on or about the 17th day of August, 2024,
Yes, ma'am.
in Butler County, Kansas, Brian Darnell Perkins Pashka did unlawfully obtain control over stolen property or services, to wit, black 2023 Nissan Altima, knowing the property or services to have been stolen by another with the intent to permanently deprive the owner, to wit, EAN Holdings, of the possession, use, or benefit of said property or services of a value less than $1,500 in violation of KSA 21-5801A4B4 theft, Class A non-person misdemeanor, punishable by up to 12 months in the county jail and a $2,500 maximum fine. And then you came to court on that. I've kind of run down the court appearances and the continuances. You did post a bond. That bond was filed August 27 of 24, saying that you would attend all court hearings. $2,500 secured by Florio bail bonds. That bond was active up until the time I issued a warrant for failure to appear. We had, it looks like at least 2, maybe 3 subpoenaed witnesses. Someone from EAN, Master Trooper Genesis Rose, and someone from Arrow.
Arrow Towing?
I think so.
Yes, ma'am.
So we had 3 witnesses here, and the reason, and I think you may have asked for the trial, but as I was saying on the record a while ago, I may have just set it for trial because I needed to get it resolved, and you kept coming in saying you were going to get an attorney, and you never did.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you've done again today, that you were going to get an attorney, but you didn't.
Because Mr. Patterson has not recalled, like he hasn't returned any calls, like any. I've called his clerk multiple times. He's either out of the office, or he's busy with another client, or he's in court, or he's just not there. And then when I leave my number to get a call back, because that's the attorney that I feel most comfortable with going with this case, doesn't return my calls. And I don't know if it's the time zone. I don't know if it's I don't want to say time zone, but it's the time difference. I don't know, but I've completely called him trying to retain him.
You're in Texas?
Yes, ma'am. I work in Texas right now, ma'am.
What time do you have show in Texas?
I have 2:29 here, which is you guys' time. And at the time that I was communicating with him, I was living in Las Vegas at the time.
Well, I thought we were both on Central Daylight Time.
Yes, ma'am. I believe Texas and Kansas is the same time zone.
Central Zone, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's your charge. That's what you're charged with. That's what your possible penalties are. As I would have told you back in August, you do have the right to an attorney. I've given you time to hire one because you didn't qualify for court appointed. You've still not done that. And we were set for trial. Now, you can either continue your not guilty plea, and we'll have to reset this for another trial date, or you can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we can most likely find you guilty and proceed to sentencing today. Or you can plead no contest, which would be to say you don't want to admit the charge, but you don't want to deny it. And the state would provide a basis, if they could provide a factual basis to support a no contest plea, wherein you neither admit nor deny the charge, you'd still be found guilty and we'd proceed to sentencing. Did you ever look into diversion in this matter, sir?
No, ma'am.
And why was that?
I don't know how to go about court. I just know to show up.
All right, I would have told you about diversion. I would have told you that at the first hearing, that if your record is clear or reasonably clear, you could apply to the county attorney, and I would have given you their website, and you could have gone online. Now, this was back in August, and if you've done certain things, they may have diverted your case so that you'd be taken out of the court system, and you would ultimately receive discharge of these charges. The case would be closed.
Am I still eligible to do that?
I have no idea. That's up to the county attorney. What I am going to do is reset your trial. Because of our crowded docket, that'll be far enough down the road that you can check with the county attorney on that. But I just don't understand why you seem to be hearing all of this for the first time, when I know we went over it before.
Maybe it was like miscommunication, but I think it was in the November case that I had to show up on. I had stated that I was going through a situation where I had a newborn, and my fiance, she split during the pregnancy, so I was taking care of all the bills while she was on leave. So that's why when I asked if I could get a public defender or how to go about it, and then you just read the paper or whatever was stated on the document in front of you, you just stated that I made too much money and that wouldn't be offered to me.
That's what District Court Judge Charles Hart determined when you were before him, August 26th of 24. He determined that you made too much money.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you came in November 18th, 24, and saw me for the first time and said you were hiring attorney.
Yes.
And you told me that again January 27th, and again February 10th. And
yeah, it's because I'm trying to communicate with Mr. Patterson. Mr. Patterson, and there's one more attorney that my bail bonds actually gave me. He actually calls me back on time, but Mr. Patterson is the one that I feel comfortable going with. Everything works out for me, and he just doesn't respond. Like, he didn't even have my case number. When I tried to give him when I did speak to him for the first time and only time, I gave him my first and last name, and he couldn't find my case number. He tried to find it by just using Perkins, tried to use it by just using Parche. Then he tried Perkins Parche, and my case number wasn't popping up. So he said he doesn't even know how to go about it. He's going to try, when I get my case number, to call him back. And that's the day when I was in court with you, and I asked you if I could get my case number, and you gave it to me. And then I called back with my case number. They were able to pull it up and then said that they would have Mr. Patterson contact me. He hasn't contacted me. And then I tried to call back several times and he's either not in the office, he's busy, or he's in court now.
All right, well, I'm going to set it over and that'll give you time to look into diversion, see if you can track down Mr. Patterson and he'll take your case. Any last minute efforts you want, this will give you time to do it. Destiny, when is our next trial docket date?
That's June 11th, Your Honor.
Mr. Regier, will June 11 work for you and your witnesses?
Your Honor, the state will have those subpoenas issued as soon as possible. Again, the state is somewhat confused as to why this is being set over for an additional date where the subpoenas had already been issued and the witnesses were all ready to testify earlier this afternoon. But again, the state does recognize the court's order saying this over yet an additional time and will issue the appropriate paperwork.
In other words, JRegier is saying, why are you letting him have a continuance and redo the trial when he didn't show up? He wants this to just stay closed. But for whatever reason, Webby is giving this man grace and buying his version that the court administrator made an error and sent him to the wrong courtroom. Even though if he had had his paperwork and referenced that instead of calling the court clerk's office, he would have had the correct Zoom information. But he didn't do that.
Well, I could say let's go to trial, but Mr. Regier, you don't have any witnesses and the burden's on you. I guess that's why I'm setting it over.
Very good, Your Honor.
The other option would be to dismiss it because you don't have witnesses, and I don't think that would be fair to the state, but that's why. You don't have witnesses.
Very good, Your Honor.
It's not your fault. Okay, Mr. Parche, you must be back here. I'm continuing your bond. You must be back here. June 11th at 1:30. That is set for bench trial again.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Regier is going to subpoena at least 3 people. If you decide closer to that date that you do not want a trial, you let his office know so they can cancel those witnesses.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want them to show up a second time just to have to be told to go away. Like yourself, their time is valuable. They've got a lot of obligations.
Yes, ma'am.
So June 11th, that's the deadline. And that doesn't mean that's the day before you go out and hire Mr. Patterson. If you want him, you go get him. If you want diversion, you go online. And as I would have told you before, it's BU, the website for diversion. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
It's BUCOKS.com. It's short for Butler
ma'am.
County, Kansas. BUCOKS.com.
Yes, ma'am.
So either be diverted.
Can you hear me,
or
ma'am?
I'm sorry.
No, my phone clicked out. I was trying to make sure you could hear me, ma'am. I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Your phone number. Did you get the phone number?
No.
Or the website is BUCOKS.com.
Yeah, I got that, ma'am.
To notify the county attorney about the trial, if you don't need their witnesses, their number is 316.
Okay, I got it now.
Their email, Mr. Regier, help me on this. It's the letter A and the word reception.
All right, thank you, sir.
You don't use that A reception if he needs to tell you to cancel your witnesses? Or do you want him to just call?
Your Honor, again, if the defendant wishes to provide additional information to my office, the state center says that can be done at the email.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you were telling me. A reception at gmail.com. Is that right,
Yes,
Mr.? Regier? I thought you were answering a different question. Okay. And if you want to call Mr. Patterson, his number is 316.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that number.
Okay.
Yes, I apologize for the miscommunication or the back and forth, but
Well,
I really just haven't heard from Mr. Patterson. That's all. That's really
well,
the only issue now.
and he may just not be available for you. He may just be too busy. And if he is, then it's up to you if you want to find someone else or continue on your own.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any witnesses you want to have testify, you better have them at the trial.
Yes, ma'am.
You started to talk about this other guy and the rental, and if you want to present any of that, the only way you can do that is through witnesses and evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure you have them here.
Yeah, I have everything I need to show that I didn't commit this crime.
Okay,
I
well,
was just
apparently you didn't have them today. They're not here now, are they?
no, but I have like documents and paperwork and messages to show. I even have the cop that he probably uses as a Mr. Regier is probably using as a witness. It's on his body cam when.
Well, you better have his body cam subpoenaed because he doesn't have to produce it if Mr. Regier doesn't ask him to.
Yeah.
But it's probably the cop's body cam. Probably. I even have what he's probably using as a witness. Sir, good luck. Good luck in your upcoming trial, sir. Pucker up.
Yeah, I understand that, ma'am.
And any documents, you're going to have the preparer of those documents or the records custodian of those documents. So if you represent yourself, you better make sure you know how to do it. All right, Mr. Regier, anything further?
Your Honor, if these are the continuing orders of the court, is the court making any orders concerning its prior orders after finding that the defendant failed to appear at the setting earlier this afternoon?
If you're asking if I'm setting aside the bench warrant and the bond forfeiture, yes, I am.
Very good, Your Honor.
All right, anything further, Mr. Pache?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll give this one more shot, start new on that date and time of June 11th at 1:30 by Zoom. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You guys have a blessed one.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Regier and staff. I appreciate your help and extra time.
And I did not have any of his previous hearings. I checked. I wrote them all down. I checked. And I even reached out to Squishy because I wanted to see the conclusion of his case. And he didn't have it either. We try so hard. We do. But even Webby and JRegier sometimes slip through the cracks. I tried. But that was still worth it.
We are adjourned. We'll now be on the record in Bell 2024 TR 3525, State of Kansas versus Mandy Michelle Bell. JRegier for the state. Mandy Bell appears in person and pro se. Ms. Bell, you have one charge against you today. It's called driving without the required ignition interlock in your particular case, and a misdemeanor. Penalties include a fine up to $2,500 and a year in county jail. Ms. Bell, do you wish to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or waive your right to counsel and represent yourself? Okay, Ms. Bell, please don't hold up any personal information on the internet. You're live on the internet now. Turn on your audio and tell me what that was.
I'm sorry, I still have you on mute. So that's my installation certificate. I have it installed. I already had it planned a day to have it installed, and it is installed in my car that I own. I have registered and have insurance all on my car.
All right, well, that's well and good, but what is the answer to my question? Do you wish to hire an attorney, apply for court appointed, or represent yourself?
I can hire an attorney. I
All right.
just I had it set scheduled for a day to get my interlock in, and
I hear what you're
yeah.
saying, but
Okay.
it doesn't help me know how you want to proceed on an attorney. I think you
Okay.
said you can afford to hire an attorney. Is that what you're saying?
I can.
All right.
I just I would love this to be just dismissed because I'm doing
Okay, well,
everything right. 100%.
okay. But if you can afford to hire an attorney, then we won't worry about appointing. But I still need to know, are you going to hire an attorney or are you going to represent yourself?
I'm bad at this. I don't really know. I can hire an attorney for 1,500 for this case, or I just want it just dismissed.
I imagine everyone on the screen wants their case just
Love that.
dismissed. Just dismissed,
Okay.
but you have to have grounds or lack, the state has to lack evidence or has to be a reason to dismiss.
Yeah. What are my options of just being a good person? I don't know. Anyone can say that, but I don't know my options, I guess.
I will tell you, I'll make sure you do. You have first of all, I'll go back over the fact that you have the option of hiring an attorney.
Yes.
If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can apply, and I will see if you qualify for court appointed. If you do, I would appoint one. Or you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. Now, that's on the issue of representation. On the options, you can plead not guilty and set this for trial at a later date. You can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we proceed for sentencing today. You could plead no contest. You don't admit it, but you don't deny it. You don't want to go to trial. You'd still most likely be found guilty and proceed to sentencing today.
She's insufferable, is what she is. She's obnoxious, entitled, bratty. I need a thesaurus, guys. I could not stand being around her. That's what she is. She is not someone that I would want to run into at any point in time.
Okay. I would rather talk to an attorney.
Okay.
Just because I'm not familiar with the law always, and yeah, I have everything, my interlocks installed in my car. Everything is good.
I will enter
So,
a guilty plea and make a note that you're hiring an attorney.
okay.
And can you fit her in somewhere early to make sure on a Monday to make sure she gets her attorney?
Let me see here, Judge.
Okay.
The earliest that I can do is June 2nd.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. You must be back here June 2nd at 9 a.m. with your attorney, or to proceed otherwise if you don't go with an attorney.
Okay. And what time are we thinking?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. And do I do it via Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
The codes will be different, so if they don't have your
Okay.
email, you need to get that to the clerk.
Can do.
So you have your court date, you're hiring your attorney, and I need you to accept the invitation to the breakout room. I'm going to set your bond at 2,500 OR. You won't have to put the money up unless you fail to come to court.
Okay.
Anything further, Mr. Regier?
Your Honor, in this particular case, the state is requesting, besides saying bond today, that the court make it a special order and condition bond that the defendant should not consume any alcohol during the pendency of this case. In reviewing the affidavit, It would appear that this encounter initially started as a suspected violation of KSA 81567 concerning driving under the influence. However, at this time, the state has only determined it is appropriate to proceed on the alleged charge currently before the court.
Under those circumstances and the fact that a DUI is what gets an ignition interlock, I think it is appropriate, Ms. Bell, to order that you not consume or possess alcohol or illegal drugs, which are often a substitute. And don't be going around bars, liquor stores, places where that's available.
Amen.
All right, now look for that breakout room for court security too.
Okay.
Missy, if you would, please.
Anything else that we can think of besides June 2nd at 9 a.m.?
I think that'll do it.
All right. I appreciate you all, and yeah,
Okay.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Look for the breakout.
Thank you.
Judge, can I interrupt for just a second?
Yes.
I didn't get an invite, and that lady's not on there anymore.
I had a feeling that's Miss Bell, and I told her a few times. She's already violated the court orders. Not good. But
Your Honor, if the court is prepared to go
we'll
back
take it up
on.
in just a moment, Mr. Regier. Let's finish up Mr. Bishop. And before we go back on the record in Bell, is there any chance we could send her a text or an email and tell her to come back?
Your Honor, I'm not sure if I have an email. I'll have to look at her case, but I believe she was summoned. I'm not looking at it right now, though.
All right. Well, we'll have to deal with that another way then. Is there really? Well, okay. Back on the record in 2024, TR 3525, State of Kansas versus Mandy Michelle Bell. JRegier for the state, the defendant not in person. The case had recessed with my repeated instruction for Miss Bell to look out for the breakout room. And I am told by court security too that she did not come into the breakout room. Missy, do you know if she just left the hearing?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, Mr. Regier, comments or recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor. As a preliminary matter, the state would be requesting a ruling as to whether or not the defendant is currently in violation of court orders, with special emphasis on the orders previously ordered by the court insofar as booking and bond are concerned.
The court does find that she's clearly in violation of court orders for booking and bonding to go into the breakout room.
If so, Your Honor, the state would respectfully suggest a bench warrant is appropriate. The state will respectfully defer to the court as to whether or not a modification of the court's original orders is appropriate in this matter. However, the state is suggesting a bench warrant is appropriate. The state is not encouraged by the court finding the defendant in violation of court orders concerning booking and bond, notwithstanding her, in light of the defendant's earlier statements on the record, requesting the case to be dismissed and allegations about her being a good person.
I think the more appropriate remedy in this case would be a contempt citation, finding her in contempt. And that's how I'd prefer to proceed. Anything further, Mr. Regier?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, thank you. I'll be in recess again. Ms. Bell. And Missy, I'll want to review that record to see how I did tell her, or if I did tell her. My memory thinks I told her multiple times to go to the breakout room, but
You did, including immediately before she said goodbye. So There is no reason. Besides, it would have popped up join on her screen. She would have had to have joined the big breakout room and then left the meeting. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. I loved JReGier's mic drop moment in light of her statements about being a good person. Oh, he's the best. I love his dry humor. And I think it's funnier because he doesn't think it's funny. He's being totally serious.
Maybe I'm thinking of other, just to give her the benefit of the doubt, I'd like to review that if I could at the appropriate time. Call Mr. Patterson's office as soon as this hearing is over.
Okay.
Your bond is 2,500 OR. Please go wait for the breakout room and go in the breakout room when the invitation pops up on your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't do like Miss Bell and just leave. Don't do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else we need Mr. Regier to cover?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bonnell, anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, then Missy, if you'd put him in a breakout room, please, with court security too. And we'll now be on the record in 2025, TR 59, State of Kansas versus Georgia Lynn Bug. JRegier for the state, Georgia Lynn Bug, B-U-G-G. This bug fails to appear. There is a return on an alias summons personally delivered by Deputy McMurphy. Finding the defendant fails to appear, they will issue a bench warrant. Speeding and driving while suspended, 1,500 cash or surety.
No objections from the state, Your Honor.
Thank you. At 1:30, it will be by Zoom, so make sure you're here June 11th at 1:30 with any evidence you want the court to consider. And it has to be firsthand, not secondhand information.
Okay.
We need to set a bond, $1,000 OR. Look for an invitation to the breakout room and court security.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That does conclude the docket. I see someone named George is here, but I called someone named George's name and she failed to appear.
Your Honor, I believe Miss Bug logged in about 15 minutes ago.
All right. Would you start your video, please, and your audio if you want me to hear why you failed to appear? Click on the little red button with the line through it. If you're using a phone, run your finger down the side or the bottom. If you can't see the button, it should pop up. There you go.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
We are back on the record in 2025, TR 59, State of Kansas versus Georgia Lynn Bug. JRegier appearing for the state. Miss Bug now appearing about, not quite 3 hours late for court. Miss Bug, where were you when I called your case?
I accidentally misread. I had a different court date that was 3:30 on a different day and I mixed them up.
How did you figure out that you were supposed to be here this morning?
I looked at my piece of paper and realized I had it mixed up.
So you just happened to look at it shortly after I called your case and issued a warrant?
Yes.
Tell me why I should not just have you turn yourself in on your warrant.
Well, I'm in the middle of moving and I just, if I had that happen, I would lose everything I own, probably.
I don't make the connection in what you just said to my question.
Well, I mean, like if you put a warrant and picked me up, I would have to wait till next court, and I wouldn't be able to finish moving.
Oh, there's already a warrant. It was issued already.
Well, I have issued a bench warrant, and your bond is set at $1,500, cash or professional surety required. You're charged in count 1 with speeding 77 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Unless they've changed their guidelines, that's over the limit for diversion at the county attorney's office. And count 2, you're charged with driving while your license was suspended. The speeding is an infraction that does not carry jail time. But a scheduled fine. And count 2, the driving while suspended, is a B misdemeanor. If convicted, you could serve up to 6 months in the county jail, and you'd have to pay at least a $100 fine, but could pay up to $1,000. You do have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed, or you could waive your right to attorney and represent yourself. How do you wish to proceed on the issue of attorney?
I have an attorney for another case. Can I just use the same attorney?
What's your
Or
other
is it,
case?
it's a driving on suspended in Rose Hill. It was around the same time.
The city of Rose Hill? You go to
Yeah.
court. Okay, so you go to court in the city of Rose Hill. Who is your attorney over there?
It's what's his name? Oh no, it's in Douglas. Collins, I think.
So you have pending.
I can't remember exactly. I don't actually. I'll just plead no contest.
Well,
Sure.
you have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford one, is the one in Douglas or Rose Hill, whichever city court you're in, is that appointed or hired? Did you hire him?
He's appointed.
All right. And it's up to you what you want to do on this charge. Do you want to apply for court appointed, or do you want to wait?
No, that's okay.
Understand.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If
All
you
right.
get,
I'll apply for court appointed.
no, I'm not trying to talk you into anything. I just want you to understand. If you have a second driving while suspended, whether it be there or here, there is a mandatory must serve minimum 5 days jail. Could be up to a year on a second offense.
Hmm.
So I just want you to be
Yeah,
aware.
I'll do a court appointed.
Well, let's see if you qualify. Where do you work?
I'm unemployed right now.
How long have you been unemployed?
A year.
Okay, and why are you not working?
I had a personal loss. Like I lost my whole family, and it was devastating. And I was really depressed this last year.
Okay. Do you have any income at all?
No, I am looking for a job though.
Okay, who is supporting you right now?
No one. I'm selling my home.
If you haven't worked in a year, have you been living off of savings or what?
I've been living off of very little. I bought my vehicle and my home cash, so it was just a little bit of bills. But yeah, I'm struggling a lot right now.
Was this a cash settlement from something?
No, I sold my family home and I bought a little trailer and a little car, and then just used that for a year, and
Now you're
that's
now
what
you
that's
don't
all.
have any money left?
No.
Okay. Well, I do want you to fill out a completed application form. So call the clerk of the district court. You have a pencil
Yes.
at 316. Based on what you've told me today, I am appointing an attorney, and it will be Darren Patterson. And his number is 316. Call him as soon as this hearing is over. If his office is closed for lunch, call back after lunch. Give him all your contact information.
Okay.
And Destiny, if you'd give us her next court date, please.
Of course, Your Honor, that's going to be June 16th.
June 16th. You must be back here by Zoom. June 16th, 8 a.m. with your attorney, Darren Patterson. Make sure you've talked with him and you're ready to go.
Okay.
You can get your license reinstated. I'm sure he would encourage that. You do need to post a bond.
And Your Honor, if the court is considering that issue, before the court issues ruling, the state would respectfully request the opportunity to be heard at the appropriate time.
This is the appropriate time. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the state's understanding is that the court had previously found some time ago that the defendant failed to appear and had entered orders with that effect. It would appear the court is giving this defendant a particular amount of latitude by taking up this case after the conclusion of this particular docket, while the state is of the understanding that the court will do that in certain types of situations. The state does consider this defendant a particular flight risk. As the state's understanding is that within the last 2 years, this is a defendant who has had at least 4 prior failures to appear.
Not all in this case, has she?
Your Honor, the state's
No.
understanding is that this is the first hearing for this particular case.
How many more does she have?
Your Honor, I would need the opportunity to research further before I am in a position to provide a precise number. Although it does appear that there was a previous 2020 case involving this same defendant before this court.
Okay, when I look at her record on Odyssey,
Oh, yes. Let's look at that record. And remember, guys, she lost her entire family a year ago. The way she worded that was clearly intended for maximum effect of manipulation. Let's find out what happened. How did she lose her whole family?
her traffic goes back to 2006. Wide variety of traffic violations. Criminal violations. There's a theft. More traffic. More traffic. A lot of stuff. I do see, ma'am, that you have a Rose Hill case.
Mm-hmm.
2024 LM 1173 is not Douglas, it's City of Rose Hill. Now, you may have a Douglas case and I'm just not seeing it. But it is a City of Rose Hill.
Yeah, I have, that's
Hang
complete.
on,
I just have, I have a fine.
Hang on, let me speak.
Sorry.
It was filed August 12th of 2024. Last activity was February 6th of 2025. And the event was RETGARN. I'm not sure what that stands for, what that code is for. So what happened February 6th?
My tag was expired. Well, my tag wasn't expired. I just didn't have the right tag. I had a 30-day tag that was expired and I didn't have
Well, you probably better not say
the right
much more
tag.
about it if that case is still pending.
Okay. That one, I have a $1,500 fine, and that one will be done. I have $200 a month to pay.
And I see we've got a number of civil things here. Looks like that's the only thing pending that I can see. Do you see anything else pending, Mr. Regier, on the records you have? Or if you have any records?
Your Honor, unfortunately, I'm not aware. I have no knowledge as to any other cases this defendant may be involved in other jurisdictions.
Miss Bug, where are you physically located right now?
At home, in Douglas.
That's the home you're moving out of?
Yeah.
How long have you been at that address?
A year.
Is that the small trailer you referred to?
Yes.
If you're moving, are you going to stay in the Douglas area?
Possibly. I know I have to move out all my stuff to a storage unit, so.
Why are you moving? Are you being evicted or behind on your rent?
Yes, I had a roommate that was supposed to help me, and I didn't get the payment I needed from them, and I didn't have enough for my lot rent. And so they sent me an eviction, and I don't know what day I have to be out by, but it's pretty soon.
Well, you said you were living in Douglas, but we had a Brownie Street, Rose Hill address on the summons. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I moved from the first time.
Okay, that's not where you are right now, or is it?
Yeah, no, I'm in Douglas.
You're not on that Brownie Street?
No.
Well, I do think you're a risk because not only failures to appear, but it sounds like maybe going homeless. We're going to have a hard time keeping track of you. Mr. Regier, what is your recommendation?
Your Honor, far be it for me to recommend that the court overturn its own prior orders concerning this defendant. However, if the court is prepared to modify its original orders, the state would be respectfully suggesting a much higher bond than the court had previously ordered.
And that suggestion would be?
At the very least, Your Honor, 3,000 cash or surety, along with any other orders the court may deem appropriate.
I don't have any money.
Well, I need some assurance you're going to be here at the next hearing. And frankly, my best judgment is you'll fail to come to court.
I mean, I'm not going to miss it. I can't. I have to get a job. I have like my belongings to secure, and I don't have a choice. So.
When you said you lost your family, did they pass away, or was it through some kind?
My mom moved away, and I got a divorce, and my kid went to the Marines, and the other one is with his dad living.
So all of them are still alive. You didn't actually lose your family. You said that just as a tactic of manipulation, which makes you a terrible person.
And where's his dad? What state does his dad live in?
He's in Kansas.
Do you have anyone that can help me know that you're going to come back to court that can keep track of you?
I have a friend that I am possibly going to stay with in Wichita.
But you don't know.
What?
Have you talked to your friend?
Yeah.
And what'd your friend say about you moving in with this person?
I mean, they're gonna let me stay there, but I don't know when I'm gonna be there exactly, and I don't know the address yet.
You have $150.
I do not. I can try and come up with it. Mhm.
Well, I'm going to have a surety that you'll be here, and you were 3 hours late for court.
I understand.
I'm going to leave your bond. And I have a strong feeling you're going to make me regret this. Please don't.
I will not.
I've got you on record saying that.
Okay.
You're going to need to turn yourself into, you're in Douglas right now. They don't have a local officer down there, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they
Is
have.
that how I pay the $150?
Well, when I said 150, your bond is, I set your bond at 100 or 1,500. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to increase it as recommended by the state, and I respect their recommendation. But if I leave it at 1,500, you can probably get a bondsman to go 10%, which is 150. So I need you to turn yourself in, or I need you to probably what I will do. Deputy, she hasn't made any bond to date, right? So I'm going to have her go in a breakout room with you, and you two can make arrangements whether the sheriff is going to her, or if there's a deputy down there she can turn herself into. She's not a licensed driver, it looks like. Anyway, she wasn't allegedly on September 4th of 2024. So it may be that the officer has to go down there. What that means, that Mr. Regier, is we probably ought to get that bench warrant post haste,
I will put a note in the file, Your Honor.
because I don't want you disappearing on me. Now, you're going to have to go in that breakout room and tell the deputy where you physically are, what's the address, the name of the friend in Wichita, and where that friend lives. And I want that put on the bond somewhere in the margin or something, because when you disappear on me, I want to know where to find you. And you better not be doing any driving.
I'm not.
Okay. So, all right. Anything else we need to address on the case besides the bonds, Mr. Regier?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
And Deputy, I'm going to go
Thank you,
ahead
Your
and
Honor. Her court date was June 16th at 8. Is that correct?
yes. And Darren Patterson was appointed,
Okay.
and she's to give you not only where she physically is, but the name of the friend and the address in Wichita and any other places she might end up. So if she doesn't come back, we'll know where to start looking. And that is
Okay.
definitely a professional bond.
So,
All
Your
right.
Honor, is the court maintaining the amount but modifying its orders to make it professional surety only?
Professional surety only, which I think that's all she can do anyway. But as a practical matter, I want it professional surety only so that they can go look for it if we need them to.
Very good, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I'm working with you on this, Miss Bug, but I can't do any better than that because I just have this feeling you're going to disappear on me, but I hope you don't. You make sure Mr. Patterson always knows how to get a hold of you, and give the officer your phone number too. You can put this behind you and get over this, but You're going to need to do it the right way. And Mr. Patterson's going to be a good help for you. Okay. So now what I need you to do, Miss Bug, is watch your screen. And my assistant, Missy, is going to pop up something on your screen that says join breakout room or something like that. Whatever pops up, you click on that with your mouse or finger or whatever your phone responds with.
Okay.
All right, Missy, if you'll put them in a breakout room, please. All right, thank you, everyone. We are adjourned. We'll now be on the record in 2023 TR 3260, State of Kansas versus Tyrone Bernard Ingram Jr. Is Mr. Ingram here?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ingram, you are still wishing your bench trial today on the one count of driving after being declared an habitual violator. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Yes, Mr. Ingram?
Okay, so I was gonna get an attorney, but he doesn't do law anymore. And so when I called the clerk to ask if I could apply for a public defender, they told me that I had to do it in person. And I can't drive. I live in Wichita, so it's kind of hard to get down here. So, I mean, if that's a problem, I just want to plea, or maybe get a plea.
So I don't understand. Are you asking for an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, sir, this case is a 2023. You posted bond in this case over a year ago, September 13, 2023. You've had a failure to appear. You've had a motion for judgment on bond. Motion withdrawing motion for judgment on bond. Why in this year and month or two have you not obtained an attorney already or asked for one?
Well, it was under my understanding that I was going to have an attorney, but I don't know what happened with the attorney that I had this agreement with, but he doesn't practice law anymore.
December 20th, 2023, there was a hearing. You applied for a court-appointed attorney, but you did not qualify. You made too much money. The matter was set for March 18th.
I don't remember applying for an attorney at all.
Well, you failed to appear, so a bench warrant bond forfeiture was ordered. The motion for judgment on bond was heard April 19th of 24. Apparently the motion was, an order was set aside. Then you were here September 4th. There was a notation that you could apply for court-appointed attorney if you'd like, and you didn't.
Because it was under my understanding that I was still going to have my attorney that I had an understanding with.
All right. Well, I think we need to proceed with hearing today because on this issue of attorney, you've delayed for over a year now. You've been given your right multiple times to have an attorney. You have not taken those opportunities. So it's beginning to look like this is just a stall tactic, and I'm not going to keep tolerating it. So at this time, we're set for trial. You've known we've been set for trial, and you've never had an attorney enter an appearance. So we need to go to trial, or you need to make a decision whether you want that trial or not. But I've got you set for trial. Looks like the officer is subpoenaed and ready to go. So are you ready to go to trial?
I was really trying to see if I could get a plea agreement, if that was a possibility.
If you can or not, you've had over a year to do that too.
Man. Well, if I can't get a plea agreement and I can't try and get a public defender, then yes, I'm ready to go to trial.
All right. Any opening statements?
Your Honor, as a last minute preliminary matter, The state would be, in exchange for a plea as charged to the count currently before the court, the state would be prepared to recommend probation along with other matters. However, that plea would be contingent upon the defendant waiving his right to counsel in this matter. Beyond that, the state is prepared to
Well, he
proceed.
doesn't want to waive his right to counsel, but I'm not going to give him any more time to keep trying to find one when he keeps using that as an excuse to delay these proceedings. So I don't think you're going to get a waiver, Mr. Regier. Are you wanting to waive your right to counsel at this time, Mr. Ingram?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you are waiving your right to counsel. And you're ready to proceed on your own behalf to try to work out a plea agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, the officer can get you a form. You understand you don't have to sign a waiver though, but you wish to waive your right and proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is anyone making you do that?
No, ma'am.
I think that's where he went, was to get that form.
Sign it right there for me.
The record will reflect that the defendant has signed waiver of counsel on the record. Now, Mr. Regier, do you want to meet with him in a breakout room or what do you propose?
Your Honor, it is the state's understanding that the defense had previously addressed the possibility of a plea offer. At this juncture, the state would be prepared to recommend probation as well as other matters in exchange for a plea as charged. Beyond that, the state is prepared to proceed to trial, and the state's offer would expire upon the commencement of such trial.
All right. Is that enough of a plea offer, Mr. Ingram, that he'll not ask for jail time?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So how do you want to proceed, Mr. Ingram? You to the one count.
I like to plead guilty.
All right. By pleading guilty, you're admitting that on September 13th, 2023, you were driving in Butler County at a time when your license had been revoked as habitual violator status?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone making you enter this plea of guilty today?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up the trial that we're set for today? And you can't get that right back if you change your mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand also that if I accept this plea, you will be found guilty and unable to appeal your conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, where were you driving on that date that the officer would have seen you?
I was on the highway almost to, well, in Andover or Augusta. Let me see.
You were in Andover or Augusta?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been out there a couple of times.
Okay.
I was going to pick up my son,
Okay.
but
The officer's Sergeant Thad White, who's here to testify, his affidavit that he filed in this case alleges that on Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, while he was on duty acting in his capacity as a law enforcement officer, he initiated a traffic stop in the 8000 block of Southwest Highway 54, Augusta, Butler County, Kansas. The vehicle that he stopped being a gray in color 2006 Pontiac GC bearing Kansas registration. Do you agree with that?
yes, ma'am.
So you said it was either Andover or Augusta, you weren't sure, but having heard the affidavit, do you feel like it was Augusta now?
Yes, ma'am.
And that sounds like the vehicle you were driving?
Yes, ma'am.
And had your license been already revoked as an habitual violator?
Yes, ma'am.
I do accept your plea and find you guilty. Recommendations, Mr. Regier?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, pursuant to plea negotiations, the state is prepared to recommend probation for 1 year. The state's position is that should be a reporting probation with a $60 probation fee subject to all standard conditions. The state is further recommending a suspended sentence of 1 year, a fine of $200, and court costs of $108.
So you're recommending an underlying sentence of 1 year with probation for 1 year?
Yes, Your Honor, that is the state's recommendation.
All right, Mr. Ingram, is there anything you want to say or suggest or recommend before I determine your sentence?
I would just ask that you go with the state's recommendation because I do have 4 kids in my household. I'm a single parent. I'm full-time at DeVry University. I just got hired on the Spirit. I'm waiting for my start date. And I am part-time at JV Siding currently. And I really have to be there for my kids because I haven't nowhere for them.
Do you have all 4 of these children living with you in your home?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're the sole provider and the sole caretaker?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're a full-time student and we're just hired at Spirit and you do part-time siding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how old are the children?
13, 10, 9, and 2.
Okay. Who watches them while you're at work?
They go to school and my sister watches my son.
The 2-year-old?
Yes,
Okay.
but he's going to be going to Head Start because my sister has a lot of medical complications and she's in and out of the hospital like every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. All right, sir, at this time, I will follow the agreement. Your fine is $200. Your court costs are $108. There will be a probation supervision fee of $60. That gives you $368. How much time do you need to pay that?
You said 368?
Right?
Maybe a week. I could really go outside and ask my aunt if she'll pay it right now.
No, I'll tell you what, I'll order that you have 30 days to pay. But
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
need more, I can give you that.
Yes, ma'am.
But tell me now, don't wait until you leave and then decide you wish you'd done something different.
Okay. Can I possibly do 90 days?
Sure. I'll give you 90 days to pay as a condition of your probation. Your controlling sentence is 1 year. So if you violate your probation, you'll do a year in the county jail, or could do. And then your kids will be in a real bind. So make
Yes,
sure you comply with your probation. As soon as this hearing is over, go to the probation office there in the building and tell them you're there to sign up for probation. You live where? In Wichita?
Wichita, yes, ma'am.
They may be able to transfer that to Wichita. I'll give them permission to do that if they can. You will have all standard conditions of probation, which they will go over with you. If they tell you they want to see you, whether it be in Augusta or in Butler County or Wichita, don't fail to report.
Yes,
That'll
ma'am.
get your probation revoked too. Keep the commitment. And like I said, they'll go over those conditions with you. You have 90 days to pay. Mr. Regier, am I missing anything?
Your Honor, if the court is ordering a $60 probation fee, with probation being subject to all standard conditions, the state would request a ruling on the record as to the length of that reporting probation. Also, if the court has found that the defendant has successfully executed his right to counsel on the record, the state will be requesting leave to journalize that in the journal entry from today's hearing.
You may journalize that, and it is a 1-year sentence with a 1-year reporting probation. Was there something else you said?
No, Your Honor, nothing beyond thanking Sergeant White for his appearance here this afternoon.
Thank you for being here, Sergeant White. Thank you for being here, Mr. Ingram. You may go at this time to probation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll now be on the record in Morton, case number 2024 TR 2644, State of Kansas versus Aaron Brian Morton, JRegier for the state. I do not see Aaron Brian Morton's name on the screen. So is it Seth?
Your Honor.
Okay, are you Seth Manders or are you Aaron Morton?
Was just an email address I used. I don't know very much about the program. And so it gave that name, which is what I use for some social media things. It wasn't my real name.
Okay,
Sorry
so you
about
have an alter identity on social media?
Well, I do a lot of social
All right.
media, and I don't like my real information being out there.
All right. So you'll answer to Mr. Morton, Mr. Manders, or Diggy. Is that right? All right. Well, I'm going to
Aaron
call
Morton.
you. I'm going to call you Aaron Morton because that appears to be your legal name.
It is, Your Honor.
All right. So JRegier for the state, the defendant Aaron Brian Morton, in person and pro se. We are here on one violation alleged of speeding 60 in a 45-mile-per-hour zone. It looks like the state has Park Ranger Michael Hammer subpoenaed, and he is here to testify. So, Mr. Manders, are you ready to proceed today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or Mr. Morton? Missy, will you take that name off the screen? That just throws me every time they do that.
I didn't know how
Can
to
someone
change it.
take that off of there? Missy, can you change it?
Yeah, just a moment. I mean,
Never fail. If you put somebody else's name on your screen, I'm going to call you that name all the way through a hearing, and I don't want to do that.
My fault.
Well, it
We'll
wouldn't
let
be a
down to
big
my
deal, but I had a case where it was a big deal. So
okay, what's the name then?
Aaron, Aaron is his first name, and his last name is Morton, Morton. Thank you. All right, so Mr. Morton, are you ready to proceed with your bench trial today?
Yes.
I say she should still call him Diggy just for the hell of it. I think Diggy fits.
All right, Mr. Regier, are you ready to proceed with the bench trial today?
At the court's leisure, Your Honor.
All right, as this is speeding 60 and 45, I don't know that opening statements would benefit me much, but I would sure allow you to make them and welcome them if you wish. Mr. Regier, any opening statement?
The state would waive opening statements at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Morton, any opening statement?
I know I wasn't doing 60 miles an hour. I was
And that's
doing
what
45.
Okay, we're not doing arguments. We're doing statements of what you think the evidence will show. But I will take it that that's what you believe the evidence will show.
That I'm doing 45 miles an hour.
That's what you believe it will show. Okay. Very good.
Absolutely. I pay attention to my speed.
All right. Well, don't
Objection, Your
start
Honor,
making your
testifying.
testimony. Okay. Yeah, I'll disregard argument at this time and testimony at this time. That's not under oath, especially. So call your first witness, Mr. Regier.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Park Ranger Michael Hammer to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed, Mr. Regier.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you please state your name for the record?
Michael Hammer
Okay. And where are you employed?
for the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks, specifically at El Dorado State Park.
Okay. And in that capacity, what is your professional title?
Natural Resource Officer or Park Ranger.
Okay. And how long have you worked as an officer?
I was hired on in March of 2023.
Okay. So approximately 1.5 to 2 years of experience in law enforcement? Okay. Were you on active duty in your professional capacity on September 5th, 2024 at approximately 5 p.m.?
I was.
Okay. And where were you at the time?
I was traveling northbound on Boulder Bluff Road.
Okay. And is that located in Butler County?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say you were northbound on Boulder Bluff Road, were you in a vehicle at the time?
Yes, I was in my marked patrol vehicle.
Okay. Could you please describe your immediate surroundings for the court in that area as you recall them?
Boulder Bluff Road is surrounded by, and we've got walking trails on one side and the dam to El Dorado Lake on the other side.
Okay. So based off of what you're saying, would you describe this area as within El Dorado State Park boundaries?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking a little more generally, would you describe this area as open or enclosed overall?
Overall, I'd say it's more open.
Okay. Do you recall if there's any trees near this particular roadway?
The hiking trails off to the west it's like a wooded area, but not immediately next to the road.
Okay. And do you recall what the weather was like on the date and time in question?
It was fair, sunny, no cloud cover or anything like that.
Okay. And did any of these aspects of the location that you've mentioned impair your field of vision in any way?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with KSA 8-1558?
I am.
And what does that say about drivers and maximum speed limits?
It says that drivers shall not exceed the maximum speed limits.
Okay. And does this refer to any specific subset of driver or all drivers?
All drivers unless operating a authorized emergency vehicle for
Okay.
emergency purposes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I respectfully request the court take judicial notice of KSA 8-1558.
The court takes judicial notice of same.
Natural Resource Officer Hammer, do you consider yourself capable of identifying traffic violations on site?
Yes.
Okay. Besides your 1.5 to 2 years of experience that you would refer to, do you have any continuing education requirements that allows you to do this?
We abide by the same 40 hours of continuing education per year.
Okay. And are you presently current on those 40 hours annual recertification requirements?
I am.
Okay. On September 5th, 2024 at approximately 5 p.m., did you personally see any acts that you consider traffic violations?
I did.
Okay. Could you please describe for the court what you saw?
I was traveling northbound and a vehicle was coming towards me southbound, and I thought it was going abnormally fast. And when I checked my stalker dual radar, it said it was at 64 miles per hour. By the time I got it locked in, it had dropped down to 60 miles per hour.
Okay. And this vehicle.
I'm sorry, Mr. Regier, would you ask him to identify what he means by locked in?
Yes, Your Honor. Would you please, per the court's request, could you please describe for the court what you mean when you say locked in?
On the face of our radar, it's got the speed of the vehicle that you're targeting, and you can hit a button on the remote that's next to the steering wheel, and it will lock that speed in for reference later on when you're writing the citation.
Okay. So, so is it your testimony today that when you say something is locked in, the equipment you're referring to basically holds the speed for reference until you can successfully determine one way or the other as to write a citation or not?
That is correct.
Okay. This vehicle that you observed, could you please describe it for the court?
It was a tan in color 4-door passenger car.
Okay. And this vehicle, did it have any sirens or emergency lights about to suggest it was an authorized emergency vehicle?
It did not.
Okay. Now I'd like to talk about the stalker radar that you had previously referred to that you used to measure the car's speed. Are you certified to use this equipment?
I am.
Okay. And do you use testing on it to make sure that it's working properly?
It is my understanding that every time it is turned on, it does a self-diagnostic and would show an error code if it was not working properly.
Okay. And on the date and time in question, before this stop, did you activate your stalker radar?
I did.
And then did you receive any error messages?
I did not.
Okay. And this practice of turning the stalker radar on to check for any error messages, how often do you complete this process?
I do it at the start of every shift.
Okay. Suppose that you did receive an error message with respect to the stalker radar. What would happen then?
I would not use it for that shift and inform my supervisor so we could get it taken care of.
Okay. On September 5th of 2024, at approximately 5 p.m., can you confirm that the stalker radar was working properly?
I can.
And how do you know that?
It's got a number on for my speed as well, and my speed was accurate to my speedometer.
Okay. Did you attempt to conduct the process to determine if there were any error messages prior to the stop on the September 5th, 2024 date?
I had turned it on at the beginning of my shift about an hour prior to the stop, and it did not show any error codes.
Okay. So is it your testimony today that before the stop occurred, you had confirmed that the stalker radar was working properly at approximately 1 hour beforehand?
Correct.
And during the intervening time between that 1 hour, did you receive any readings to suggest the stalker radar had ceased functioning properly?
I did not.
Okay. Can you confirm that this tan car you had referred to was specifically clocked by the stalker radar?
Yes, I can.
And how do you know that?
It was the only car in close proximity to me,
Okay.
as in there was no other cars behind it or in front of it.
Okay. Your Honor?
Mr. Morton, please keep your opinion silent just at this point. Thank you.
And Natural Resource Officer Hammer, you may have referred to this briefly, but just for the purposes of the record, what is the posted speed limit where you're at?
45 miles per hour.
Okay. What was the maximum speed that the stalker radar measured the tan car driving at?
The highest I saw with my eyes was 64 miles per hour.
Okay. But when you locked, and when you locked the tan car speed, what speed did you lock it at?
60 miles per hour.
So a difference of approximately 4 miles per hour?
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever successfully conduct a traffic stop on this tan car?
I did.
Where did this stop take place?
On Boulder Bluff Road, about a half mile south of where I first passed the vehicle.
Okay. And this half mile south location you're referring to, is that still in Butler County?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you end up conducting the stop half a mile south of the initial location? Why not on site?
The road is a 2-lane road with very small shoulders, and so it took me I had to do a multi-point turn to get turned around and catch up to the vehicle.
Okay. Once you conducted the stop, did you speak to the driver of the car?
I did.
Do you see the driver of the car present in the Zoom conference?
I do.
Can you point them out and give a brief description for the court, please?
He's wearing a gray colored shirt. He's got dark brown hair, a full beard that is a lighter shade of brown. He's sitting beneath a white ceiling.
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
The record shall so reflect.
Okay. Did the defendant ever provide you with any official identification during the stop?
Yes, he provided his Kansas driver's license.
Okay. And did you ultimately write the defendant a citation for speeding 60 in a 45 mile per hour zone?
I did.
Why did you cite the defendant at that particular speed as opposed to, say, 64 miles per hour?
I cited him at 60 just because that's the speed that I had locked in.
Okay. Barring any redirect, no further questions.
All right, Mr. Morton, do you have any questions? Cross-examination of Park Ranger Hammer?
No.
No questions? All right, Mr. Regier, any further witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Then the state rests.
The state does rest, Your Honor.
The state rests. So, Mr. Morton, do you have any evidence or testimony you wish to present?
Yes.
All right, and Park Ranger Hammer, I'm going to have you mute because your radio every now and then makes kind of a interference. Thank you, sir. All right, please raise your right hand, Mr. Morton. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's clarify for the record, your legal name is Aaron Brian Morton, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, got that cleared up. What's that?
It was just an error out of my ignorance of
Oh,
not knowing.
don't worry about it, but I just want to make sure. Like I said, I had a case where this was the issue once, and I don't want to have that issue again. So you're the defendant in this case? Excuse me?
Your Honor.
Okay. Now, we're recording this, and in the event that somebody would have to transcribe it, it's important that they hear you. Your yes be yes, your no be no. Okay. All right, go ahead, sir. What would you like me to consider about the incident of September 5th, 2024 between you and Park Ranger Hamill?
Okay, so there were several things actually that I have been going over. I do not own a tan car, never have. This is my first vehicle. It is a four-door, and there was a tan vehicle that passed the officer as he pulled off to the side next to the dam area to turn around. I did not know why he was doing this, as I was going 45 miles an hour coming around the corner. I had originally started because I had a vehicle that was going very fast. It was a red maroon colored Toyota truck, and it came in on Myers Road, and I stopped because I didn't think they were going to. So then they stopped, and they got all angry and started waving at me. So I went ahead and went, and I turned the corner, and that's when I seen the officer. And at that point in time, I was doing 46 miles an hour and slowed down to 45 miles an hour from 46. And when I turned the corner, he was turning into the ditch next to the, what is it called? The dam there. And it was a little bit more than half a mile, I would guess, because we were almost to the spillway when the actual officer pulled me over. So it had been quite a bit, and it didn't happen exactly supposedly when it happened, I guess. I know that I got pulled over, and I told him immediately that I would like to fight this ticket because I knew my speed the entire time. The fastest I'd even gone that day was 48 miles an hour. And you know, I live at the lake. I was living there for quite some time. And, you know, I pay attention to quite a bit of my surroundings, especially my speed in my vehicle, as that's a major responsibility. And I even explained this to the officer here. There was a tan vehicle on the road, but it was not mine. It was the one in front of me. And the Toyota truck was behind me. And it was not that far behind me. So
when did you explain this to the officer? When he was standing at your vehicle issuing you the citation? It was at that time that you informed the officer, my vehicle's not tan. It's never been tan, but there was a tan vehicle in front of me, officer. That's how that went? Because that doesn't make sense, sir.
that's pretty much what I have to say. I didn't get pulled over supposedly when it happened. I was going 45 miles an hour, except for the one time on that road that was going 46, and I slowed down. And that was right before that corner in that truck. So that's all I have.
Cross-examination, Mr. Regier?
No questions from the state, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Morton, what kind of vehicle were you driving?
I have a gunmetal silver Mercury Grand Marquis LS. It is not tan at any glance of it. I can show you. I can take my phone outside and show you the vehicle if you'd like.
No. Now, it's your case if that's what you want to do. I can't, that's up to you,
I
but
mean, it's not evidence.
I'm not asking you to do it, but if you want to present it as evidence, you can. It's up to you. Do you want to do that or not?
I mean, if it would help me, yes, because I don't have a tan vehicle. It is a 4-door vehicle, and I wasn't doing 60, 64 miles an hour. I wouldn't have my vehicle if I treated it that way.
Anything further from anyone?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing, Your Honor. That's it.
I mean, I very often travel 60, 64, 70, or allegedly more. And I still have my vehicle. Sir, just driving faster doesn't make you lose your vehicle faster. Unless you crash it. But you're going overboard. You are absolutely going overboard with the I'm So Perfect act. And no one's buying it.
Well, I have a lot of questions that I would like to have answered, but I don't want to take over the party's jobs either. I mean, a few questions here and there, but not to just take over. Officer, did you have any body cam footage of this? Or car cam?
I did have my body cam on. Unfortunately, our traffic stops get deleted after 90 days, and September 5th, 2024 was well over 90 days ago. The only thing I had was I had taken a picture of his ID with the initial citation in front of my radar, and you can see a vehicle in the background.
Let me speculate that it's a tan vehicle.
I'm trying to pull it up on my right now. I'm looking at the picture right now, and it could be a light tan is what I would, a light tan, light brown was
Possibly
what I would say
silver.
Possibly silver.
Well,
Brandon
I think Park Ranger Hammer is at a disadvantage because this has been so long ago and because he doesn't have his footage to review. And looking at the citation, it doesn't look like there's any officers' notations to help recollect his memory. And Mr. Morton, you tell a pretty good story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Raise my hand.
But the situation that I have is to make the best decision I can, and to use the test of reasonable doubt. And frankly, I think I do have some reasonable doubt as to whether this was the car that was speeding, therefore whether or not it was this defendant. So,
And Your Honor, if the state may have the opportunity to respond briefly, I did not have the opportunity to raise closing arguments.
well, you didn't ask either before I started giving my opinion. Well, I'll hear what you have to say. Go ahead, see if you can change my thinking.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, at the end of the day, this is a very straightforward set of facts. Under KSA 850-58, subsection A3, the limits specified in the subsection or established as authorized by law shall be maximum lawful speeds, and no person shall operate a vehicle at a speed in excess of such maximum limits on any county or township highway 55 miles per hour. However, under KSA 815-59A2, the Secretary of Transportation may determine and declare based off of the information or circumstances known to the Secretary without an engineering or traffic investigation that a speed less than the maximum otherwise allowed by is warranted. 1, the officer has identified the defendant as the driver. The officer has identified the defendant as the driver of the car. Notwithstanding any allegations the defendant may have made insofar as to whether or not he owns this particular vehicle, the statute does not require that the person own the vehicle, only that they were driving the vehicle, and that is what the officer is testifying to here today. The stalker radar, as testified to by the officer, measured the defendant's speed at a lock speed of 60 miles per hour, less than the maximum speed that was measured. The officer has testified that the legal speed at the stop's location was 45 miles per hour. The defendant was driving the car 15 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, and the stop occurred on Boulder Bluff Road in Butler County, Kansas. Further, the officer has testified that there were no other vehicles in the location at the time. So the state maintains its position that this is not a case where there is any reasonable doubt.
All right, closing argument, Mr. Morton. Now you can argue.
I've never drove a car that's even close to that color. I've never drove that speed. I'm sorry, but I feel like this is clearly not me, and I got pulled over. I don't understand how it went from tan or brown to a gunmetal silver, which is very, very identifiable differently. And then I have busted out taillights. That was never mentioned. That's very noticeable.
Forgive the interjection.
What can I say? I got pulled over
Let him have his
wrongfully.
argument. Okay. All right. Well, I think the officer is testifying truthfully to the best of his memory. As I said, I think he's at a disadvantage because he apparently does not have any more specific notes, that probably never dreamed when he made this ticket that it would be a year before he had to go testify, and that now his video is deleted because of the age. I suspect he'll probably keep a little more notes and maybe even preserve a video if he thinks it's going to go to trial, which he probably does anyway if he thinks the case is going to trial. But he's disadvantaged, doing the best he can with all of his activities that he has to do in his line of work. Now, the question I have is, was this defendant the guy in the tan car? The other question is, was the car tan? The problem is those two questions put reasonable doubt in my mind. Was it a tan car? Maybe the officer just said the wrong color because he couldn't remember. Tan, those colors are all kind of earthy, neutral colors. I can see where it'd be easy to forget the color this far along. They both, I think, said they were four-door cars, so it probably was the same car that he saw speeding that he stopped.
No.
Stop. Don't blow it, sir. But on the other hand, there's that doubt. I do have the doubt whether he was driving the car that had been speeding. There's just enough missing here in my mind to let the benefit fall to the defendant. So I'm going to find the defendant not guilty. I'm not saying that I think you're innocent. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Morton. I don't know. But I can't say you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm not faulting the officer for that.
Not either.
But that's it. That's all I've got to say. Anybody else have anything else before we adjourn?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Park Ranger Hammer. I keep up your good work, even though this case went the way it did. Don't be discouraged. Mr. Morton, keep following the law like you say you are. And
Your Honor, I do have something just real quick. Since it is an infraction, the fines and fees are already in. So when the journal entry is put into the case, I do need it to state that the fines and fees need to be removed from this case.
okay. And I'm sure you'll do that for us, Mr. Regier.
I'll put it on the file, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you all. We are adjourned, as I think that is the last case on the docket for this afternoon. Thank you.
It sure is. And one thing I want to point out, as far as the car color goes, remember, it's at night. The officer is looking at it through a flashlight. Especially being a metallic car, that can change the appearance of the color. So, yeah, a gunmetal silver car could absolutely look like a brown tan kind of color under the light of a flashlight at night in the dark. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But I didn't want to stop the case to do it. Yeah. A lot of those metallic cars, different lighting. I mean, when the sun hits it, it'll look a lot lighter, and, you know, it's deeper when it's in the shade. Those colors are all very fluid. Yeah, and unfortunately, he won. So it's only going to bolster him to act like that again in the future. I know. We'll have to tally that one, put that one on the board. We can post that. We'll put a little pin right on his little cork board that he's got, that apparently he now has a calendar on. These cases were all from April of 2025, so. If he was Kansas Highway Patrol, they'd have done it right. No. Yeah, decorating upgrade. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna crawl in under my nice warm covers with my kitty cats and go to sleep. And then I'll get up tomorrow. I'll tinker with the location of the cameras and see if I can't get a better view for you. Thanks for that, Tiny. Tiny Kitten Esquire. Hi, baby girl. I love you. Was those good treats? Yum, 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 and you dum, 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 dum. Yes, I'm hoping the light, oh man, tomorrow's Sunday. The light won't come tomorrow. Hi, baby girl. You're awful clingy tonight. She's never, like, right in front of me. I love this. I think it's just because Snitch came back in. She slept. When Snitch went outside today, she stayed in. And she slept all day. And she slept better than I have seen her sleep in a while. A Snitch while. I am cold, actually. I'm wearing shorts and my legs are cold. And yeah. And I'm really tired and I'm really hurting, so I just want to lay down in my bed. And tomorrow I will work on making the cat tower more visible and making myself more visible. Or at least like the background. I don't know. I'll figure it out, guys. I promise. You'll just have to bear with me. Trial and error, trial and error, and trial and error. Just be gentle on me. Because this is a one-woman show and I'm kind of broken. So, I mean, it's like a 2/3 woman show. Okay, I will. No, nobody wants to see that, Charlie. Nobody wants to see that, I swear. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.